Hey everyone, welcome to Code Harmony. Today we'll solve LeetCode ID 3484. Design spreadsheet. So it's a data structure design question which is based on the hash table concept. Let's have a look on the problem statement. A spreadsheet is a grid of 26 columns labeled from A to Z and given a number of rows. Each cell in the spreadsheet can hold an integer value between 0 to 10 to the power 5. We have to design a spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet is in this format that columns are starting from A and going till Z. So we have 26 columns and these are the column IDs, and the rows are going to start from what? We'll have a look in the problem statement later. So we have row number of rows, given rows. Let's say 5 rows are given. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the format of the spreadsheet, and let's see the problem statement further. We have to implement the spreadsheet class. First of all, we have a constructor. Constructor is going to initialize this spreadsheet with 26 columns A to Z with a specific number of rows. All rows are initially set to 0. So all of these rows are initially 0 value. Now the next function is set cell. Set a particular cell. So this is the cell and this is the value. Okay. We'll have a reference of a particular cell and as a value. So the input is in this format. Set the value in the specific cell. The cell reference is provided in the format AX. Example A1 or B10. So this cell reference is provided in such a way. Let's say A1. It means A is the column ID, 1 is the row number. And what about the row numbers? Where the letter represents the column and the number represents the one index row. Okay, we found it. That these are the rows. If I say that the row is equal to 3, we have one index row. Row with ID 1, row with ID 2, row with ID 3. And if I have to check this block belongs to B and this block belongs to 3. It will be having the ID of B3, B column and 3 number of row. Okay, so this is how we check the first function, set cell. And what is reset cell? Reset the specific value to 0. Okay, see, we are getting the cell ID in the parameter. So cell ID is the key. We can maintain some kind of key which we can directly set to 0, or we can directly set the key. So the idea that I'm getting is that if they are giving me the cell ID, let's say cell is A2. If they are giving me this cell, I will be able to get the value out of this cell in a smallest time as possible, least time as possible. What is that? In a constant time. For that, we have a data structure where we can keep it as a key and keep this value as a value, key value. So we can have a key value store, or you can say hash table data structure. And hash table based data structure, we have hash map in Java or equivalent in other languages. And what about the third function? Third function is get value. Get value is formula. So get value function, we are getting a formula, and formula is in this form. Equal to and then some value, then plus operator and then some value, where x and y are either cell references. So x can either cell reference, maybe let's say in this form, or a non-negative integer. If it is non-negative integer, it is something like this, 9, 10, 11 or 91, like this. So these two types can be there. Okay, so this is for the third function. And return the computed sum. So compute the value. For integer, we already have the value, and for the cell reference we get the corresponding value from that cell. Note, if get value reference of the cell has not been explicitly set, set cell is considered 0. Okay, if there is no value, default value is 0. So this is all about our problem statement, that we have to create a spreadsheet class where the first function is, let's directly write this spreadsheet class, and this spreadsheet class is going to initialize we have a constructor is going to get number of rows. If let's say the row number is 4, so we are having 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the IDs are starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, and the columns are always 26, A, B, C till Z, 26 columns and row number of rows. So in total, how many boxes do we have? Row into 26, and the boxes are in this format: A1, B1, C1 and Z1, A2, B2, C2 and Z2, and so on, AN, BN, ZN. So this is how the cell is going to be represented, and as we require some operation over the cell so that accessing cell in the least amount as possible, we can directly have a kind of data structure where we are keeping these values as keys. So what I can take is, I can take a hash table. For the hash table, the implementation is hash map. I can directly take a hash map, and this is the key where we have B and 1. So we definitely have to take a string value, and the value is definitely integer. What is the default value? Default value is 0. Otherwise, we will set the value using the set cell function. Okay, now let's have a look on the different function. First function is set cell. This is the class. First function is set cell. It is going to get cell and integer value. Set cell. As I have already created a map, I can directly set the value map.put cell comma value. So this is first function. Second function with what they have mentioned is reset cell. Reset a particular cell. To get to the cell, I would be requiring cell ID. So cell ID is something like this: A1, A12, B12. So cell, set cell, setting a value in this, and this keys are all the cell IDs, and the values are particular integer. So these are two functions. Third function is get value. Get value. So this is the function where we have to put our brain, and the get value is going to take a formula. This is going to take a formula, and this formula, see, is formula we have to evaluate. This formula, they have already said that it is in this form, starting with equal letters. Here we have something, then we have plus operator, then we have something, and quote, and. So this is the state. And now these boxes can be of two types. First one, it can be integer. If it is an integer, then directly consider that integer as a value at this place. Otherwise, if it is a cell, it will be in this format A2, A5, B9 and so on. If it is this value, we have to get the value, corresponding value from the map. If it is a cell reference, get the corresponding value. If it is an integer, we already have the value, and then do the plus operator and return the value. So these three operations we have to perform: a spreadsheet, a cell reference, a reset cell, and the get value. And what data structure do we have to use to store our spreadsheet? We can directly use these cells. We have 26 columns and we have row number of rows, so we can directly take every single cell as a key. Okay, so this is all about the approach, and now let's do a dry run over the given example, then we'll get more understanding. Where is the example? This is the example. Copy and paste it. So this is our spreadsheet. First of all, what is the first function? The first function is the spreadsheet constructor itself, and this constructor is going to take 3. It means it is initializing 3 rows, 3 rows means 26 in the first row, 26 in the second row, 26 in the third row. And first row is going to have IDs like this: A1, A1 and B1, A1, B1, C1 and Z1. This is for the first row. Then A2, B2, C2, Z2. Second row, A3, B3, C3 and Z3. This is third row. So these are all of my keys, and by default the values are 0. So we don't have to set the default value. If it is not present in the map, I will just make the value as 0. Okay, so now what do? We have two options: whether we have to put every single key in the map, or we are not putting the key in the map. We are keeping the map empty. Okay, so for keeping the map empty, we are not doing anything. For this 3, we are not doing anything. It means whatever map we are taking, we are just doing this. Map is equal to new hash map. That's all. You might be wondering why I have not created these many cells. See, let's say the number of rows are going till 10 to the power 5 into 26. And if we are going to store a very limited amount of cells in the sheet, then there is no sense in maintaining every single entry in the hash map. So okay, by default it is empty. So this is my set initially. This 3 does not matter to me. Then get value. Get value of this expression. Get value of this expression, initially it is 5 equal to, then 5, then plus, then 7. So what I can do is, this is the string given to me. I can take a substring after this, removing the first character. If I remove the first character, I am sure that my expression in this format, that there is a plus in between and one portion on the left, one portion on the right. So now after removing the first character, do the split on the basis of plus operator. If I am getting a split, I will receive two portions, portion 1 and portion 2. Both the portion, just directly check whether this portion is available in the map or not. Portion 1 is available in the map? No. It means it is a integer if inputs are valid. Then integer is 5 plus 7 is not in the map. It means definitely it is an integer. So 5 plus 7. Yeah, solve it. 12. 12 is the answer. Okay. So now second is also done. Set cell A1 is 10. Directly set that A1 is 10. And then get value. Get value of this expression equal to A1 plus 6. Equal to A1 plus 6. So we will extract out these portion from this string input. A1 has a reference in the map. So I will check whether A1 has a value in the map or not. If it has a value in the map, just take that. Otherwise it is the value itself. Then 6, then 16 is the answer. Set cell B2 is 15. So B2 as 15, and the get value I will do this A1 plus B2 and plus 15. Then reset cell. Reset cell A1 mean A1 value is set to 0. A1 value is set to 0, or you can do one thing, that you could just directly remove it from the cell, from the map. And after that, get value. Get value is A1 plus B2. So A1 plus B2. A1 might be present with the value 0, or A1 might not be present as per your logic. So it means the default value of A1 will be taken as 0 and B2 is 15. So 15 is going to be the answer of this. So this is how we are going to use this use this approach, where we are implementing this data structure design as just one hash map data structure. Okay, what else do we have to do? Yes, I think this one hash table is more than sufficient. It's going to cover all the test cases. Let's have a look on the time and space complexity as well. See, we have designed a map, and setting a cell in a map is constant time. Resetting a cell is constant time. Get value itself is a constant time. So get value is just like couple of constant time operations. So it's a order of one time. So overall time complexity for every single function is constant time per query. We might receive a lot of queries. So almost 10 to the power 4 calls will be made to these functions. So 10 to the power 4 calls and O1 time per query. So overall it is 10 to the power 4. And what about the space complexity? See, space complexity is the number of keys in the map. Let's say we have k entries in the map. So overall it will be a linear order of k. Or let's say in the worst case we have 10 to the power 4 calls and we are storing 10 to the power 4 entries. But if we keep the thing that number of rows are valid. See, if the number of rows are valid, rows I can have till 10 to the power 3 and every row is going to have 26 column. So this is the maximum storage that we can use. Now let's have a look on the code. Here what I have taken is that just a map with string as a key and integer as a value, and to initialize the constructor we just need to initialize the map. We don't have to put the entries in the map by default, because if the entry is not present then the default value we can set as 0. So set cell. Setting a cell means putting in the map, directly put it. This is the key, this is the value. Reset cell means value should be 0. Either remove it from the cell or put it 0. So make it 0. Now get value. Get value means solving this expression. This expression we have to firstly get rid of this equal to operator. So take a substring from first character at the first index. 0 index letter should be discarded. Now we have to split it on the basis of plus operator. Now we get two parts, first part or second part. In both the parts I will get the value of that part. So for that I have taken a utility function get token value. So if the first character is a digit, it means it's an integer. Just parse as an integer. Otherwise, get the value from the map. So it means if it is an integer, just get the integer value. Otherwise, it is a cell reference. And that cell reference can be set or cannot be set. If it is not set, we have to get 0 as the default value. So this is 0. So that's all about this design question. It's an easy design question compared to the question we usually get for the designing data structure. Okay, I hope you have understood it. In case you have any doubt, you just do let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.